What's up, ladies and gents, Noli here and welcome to another Payday 2 video. Today we're going to be taking a quick early look at the Jacket character pack, which is obtained when you purchase this special edition of the Hotline Miami 2 game. Which, by the way, I intend to potentially do a walkthrough of sorts on this channel because I'm quite excited for the game itself. But I have been streaming Payday tonight with the new character pack. It's been a lot of fun and we've been discussing a lot of the new elements of it. So this is by no means a full in-depth review. I don't have any facts or figures up here. I don't even have any stats. I'm just going to be giving my early opinions on things. And if you were maybe thinking of making the Hotline Miami purchase purely on the Jacket character pack, hopefully I can tell you either way whether it is worth it or not at this early stage. So the character itself, it's certainly worth mentioning that the character is a lot of fun to play with, the same as I really enjoy playing with Dragon. A lot of his voice lines amuse me. He's interesting in that, unsurprisingly, he speaks entirely with tape recorder, pre-recorded messages, which I really like. It's really charming, and it suits the world of Payday really well. While I had a small problem, I think in the past with Dragon and Clover, and even more so recently with Bonnie, with them fitting in with the rest of the gang, well, Jacket kind of fits right in, which is odd seeing as how they're from utterly different universes, but I guess with the existence of the Hotline Miami heist already, this makes some sense. So overall, I've really enjoyed Jacket as a character, just listening to the voice lines. His pager answer lines are also amazing. So the character itself, visually as well, I like his aesthetic. It's drawn straight from the Hotline Miami games themselves. Some of you might be disappointed by his face. You can see his face if you put the beard on, for example, and it's a little adolescent looking, but it doesn't mean much to me personally. So, moving on from just the character, let's talk about his weapon. Of course, it's an SMG, and it performs quite well in the category. SMGs are not renowned for being strong, but I think Jacket's performs maybe top 2 or even 1. I've enjoyed using it tonight and I found it to be quite functional with certain setups. I'm quite a high level again within my infamy level, so I am quite skilled out. It might be different when you don't have the same sort of skills, but do remember with SMGs you don't need very many skill points to make them functional. You only need to go a little bit up the ghost tree, and I've really felt like the fire rate works well for me. I even pump that fire rate up further with the SMG skill. And I just tear through a lot of the enemies. You have to be very accurate with it. You're going to kick like mad, and it can be functional for taking out snipers just because it has reasonably high base damage and can be modified for even more quite easily. I think mine sits at 35 damage, which is a comfortable place for it to be. You can take out snipers in one shot on most difficulties other than Death Wish. And you're just not going to notice it. Its damage is really capable. It's that of an assault rifle, essentially. Admittedly, you're going to be very much faster and you're going to run out of ammo very quickly, but it also functions well on ammo pickup. Again, assuming you're accurate, you're aiming for the head as much as possible. But again, there are some interesting builds. I use Swan Song, for example, that can be used to take out bulldozers with this thing because it shoots so fast, it just tears through even the highest health enemies. And what it can be useful for is running into a cloaker and just bang, you're dead. It's not maybe as satisfying as the shotgun, but quickly loading 20 bullets straight into his head, I'd say that's pretty satisfying. So I have really enjoyed it, and again, with the right skill setup, it can augment any setup really quite well. So yeah, it gets my thumbs up on that front. Next up, we have the Carpenter's, the hammer melee weapon. It's very average. It's got very similar stats to a lot of the other melee weapons that already exist. Not too impressed by it. It looks good. It fits in with the feel, but there are definitely better melee weapons out there, so don't just look for this. Now, the perk deck, and this is really what's most important about a new character pack if you ask me. This is what adds new elements to the game, and really what Jacket's Sociopath perk deck does is draw together a lot of previous ideas and bring it into one, maybe slightly weaker perk deck. So I'm not saying that the perk deck is weak, but the skills you get in it, you're getting sort of weaker variants. So, ranging from armor regeneration on kill, some health regeneration on melee kill, additional resistances up close. A lot of these things do rely on being up close and personal, and even a sort of fear status you can put on enemies, what we've seen before with an LMG skill, I believe. I'm trying to think what that is. It functions quite coherently, but not within the sort of skill setup that I imagine you want to use the SMG with. It's more of a tank build. And if you're a tank build, you may want to think about using Armorer or the health perk deck, its name escapes me right now, over this. So it's a bit of a difficult toss-up. I do find that the armor regeneration is helpful but inconsistent because you actually have to make sure you pick up kills, which can be even less likely when you're playing with friends. However, if you want to secure the kills running things like shotguns and minigun, they are perfect for it. It synergizes really well, and I've found some genuine success with that. The fear can save you at moments when you most need it, and so the perk deck is very much so functional. However, my disappointment was when I originally wanted to get on and use the SMG, the melee weapon, and have it all synergize. That just doesn't happen, which I think is a shame, because on the whole they've tried to make that happen with a lot of the other perk decks and sort of standard skill setups you'll see. So again, I'm slightly disappointed by that, but it is a functional perk deck for certain playstyles. Again, overkill shotgun users are probably going to benefit from it more than anyone else because you're going to naturally be up close and personal. Someone like me who has a temperament to melee as well, you're going to get some additional benefit out of that. So the perk deck works well, but only really I feel if you think about it a lot. Let's compare it to Rogue. You don't have to think about that thing. Slap that on, suddenly you're surviving the most ridiculous of situations. So it's no game changer. Rogue is still crazy strong. But again, if you're a heavy armor user, you may want to consider this. Maybe not the heaviest armor user. Instead of using combined improved tactical vest, just using the regular combined tactical vest. This might be the sort of skill tree you're looking there. Maybe the medium armored regeneration, more vampiric skill tree that I thought about in the past. But I've been not underwhelmed by this skill tree. It's definitely sitting around the sort of average mark. It doesn't necessarily underperform, but I've had a lot of fun with it, and again, it makes you think about it, and as such, it feels like a more active role within the game. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed, and this may give you an idea whether the DLC, or whether Hotline Miami 2, I should say, is worth it for Jacket himself within Payday 2. Thanks again, guys.